So Paul approaches us as we're leaving, so to speak.
Yep, and everybody seems to be in a very interesting mood.
Ooh, let's all describe the moods of our characters.
Yeah, why don't you all let Paul know exactly what you guys appear as you're walking out?
I guess I'll go first because I suggested it. Dr. Ford is she's got like a simultaneous look of like defeat in her kind of posture, and her face is kind of scrunched up like she is just really angry with everyone everywhere right now.
Benny has a backpack on each arm, just scowling, just visibly angry. like there's a fear to it, but you can tell he is pissed.
Buffett seems pretty happy, and he's found some talcum powder that he's rubbing on his hands.
And Emil looks like he is dealing with a very irritating migraine, but still forcing a smile nonetheless.
Paul is his usual self, almost kind of plain-faced as he walks up. Are you guys all right? I think I missed the party.
Prophet taps Paul on the shoulder, getting some of that powder on his clothes. Says, "Okay, man, I think Emil's taking us bowling."
Emil's head wavers in the downward angle just ever so slightly in disappointment.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yes, we're going out for the night. You should come and join us.
Okay. I don't have any plans.
Great.
Yeah, Lasombra are kind of against illumination, right?
It'll be fine.
I'd say less inclined to, but I can handle it.
All right, let's do this.
Ooh, Emil, did you find cosmic bowling?
Emil just grits his teeth and starts walking to the car.
I get first shot at the jukebox. Calling it.
Okay. I'm really glad that cosmic bowling has come up as a description here, because of what I have planned.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you guys are going to drive from the Elysium to the art gallery, which is just north of the shopping arcade. And just south of the hospital, actually. A better way of describing where this place is, the art gallery is on the opposite end of the same block as that Jewish cemetery that you defiled a month ago. So,
It's a loose term.
It's a loose term, yes. So the art gallery itself is, I guess it's a small business. It's very quiet. There is a small group of individuals in there that you can see that are all finely dressed. The walls are all just stark white, not a blemish on them. There are various structure pillars throughout the building, however, that have like what looks like crumpled up aluminum foil wrapped around them. But Emil will be able to navigate the coterie through this area to a small private gallery, which will actually lead to a set of stairs that takes you downstairs to the actual nightclub itself. There is no name for this place. It is dark. There is lots of fluorescent lighting, however, lots of deep bass club music that is happening. There's many, many more people down here than there are upstairs. And most of them are all just entranced by the display of acrobatics. And, well, I'll just describe what it is. There's a rope network hanging from the ceiling, which is wrapped around a woman in various ways who is dressed in incredibly revealing lingerie. However, she's not exposing anything that would be distasteful. She is blindfolded. Her hands are tied behind her back. The ropes, which are reflecting out the light from the day glow bulbs, from the fluorescent bulbs, the black lights that are overhead, are wrapped around her neck, her wrists, her elbows, around her legs, her ankles, and she's held up in a very, very suggestive pose, while there is a gentleman who's wearing black slacks, no shirt, and a mask that is also glowing due to the black lights, who is basically arranging the ropes in a seductive way around her body, and on occasion will grab her face to face him and then just barely not kiss her. This is obviously an audience member who has been called up for this man's display. And that is your setting that you have right now. So there's your cosmic bowling. There's your cosmic bowling.
Balls are definitely going to be rolling.
All leans down to Mr. Prophet and says, "Is the bowling alley the next floor down?"
I don't know. Emil brought us here.
Prophet, I don't think we're going to be bowling.
I don't know.
Around.
It looks more like a skating rink to me.
If you follow me and get you all a private booth over this direction, and he just kind of gestures off toward like one of the back corners of the room.
All of the furniture in this place are also made out of white material. If you touch it, you can tell that it's like a satin or a felt. But all of it is just this obnoxious purplish white glowing from the black lights.
Does Emil happen to know who or where the owner is so that he can place himself in order?
There's a woman by the name of Nova who runs this place. Give me a wits and awareness.
3 successes.
3 successes. You can point. You can actually find her fairly easily. She tends to dress so that she stands out in the lights.
Yeah.
So she's not hard to find.
Emil will kind of bring everybody over to like a side of the room, and then I'll be right back. And he's gonna saunter off through the crowd, taking in every ounce of hedonism that he can along his way to talk to Nova.
Oh, this place definitely has a good amount of hedonism. Nova is definitely informed of the secret. So if you need anything from her, she can get it for you. Not a problem.
I guess I should ask before Emil leaves. Is anybody peckish? I'd rather hunger's not run high during these conversations.
Yeah, I could use a few cold ones.
Okay.
I'll
hold
take
up
one.
the flasks. I got 2 left.
So, Mr. Prophet, Paul, Dr. Ford?
She holds up the flask that Benny had given her last session.
Your choice. And he's going to turn and go to Nova.
Okay.
Nova, darling, how are you this evening?
Emil! She's
good to
gonna
see you.
walk up with her hands out, kind of wrist over wrist, but towards you, as if it's a greeting. She's just expecting you to take her hands, but it looks as if she's offering for you to tie her up.
Oh yeah, no, Emil takes her hands, and he'll kind of pull her in close. It's so good to see you.
Oh yeah, she'll go in for a kiss.
Oh yeah, he'll kiss her.
Yeah, and she'll ask you. She'll ask you how you're doing, and she'll look over your shoulder, overly curious, and she'll ask who your friends are.
Well, these sorry souls needed a good night out from the stuffy studies and boring office rooms, so I thought I'd bring them to somewhere with a little life.
She just smiles at you and gazes into your eyes. What can we get for you?
Well, I believe, and he'll kind of point toward Mr. Prophet, could use he said a cold one.
Interesting.
I don't think we do that, but I thought I'd give him the benefit of the doubt and pass the message along. He'll point to Paul. Bring him... He'll take one of each.
One of each.
I'm curious to see what he'll decide.
Okay.
And I'll take one of each as well. For the private room, of course.
Understood. Do you want me to set you up with a private room?
If you would, yes, that would be lovely.
Sure. She reaches down into her lingerie that she's wearing as her outfit, down into her cleavage, and pulls out a key with a very large key ring attached to it that is just shaped like a tag, just like the classic shape of a tag. Okay. And she'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, dear, so much. I'll be sure to stop by and catch up on the latest with you after a while, okay?
Mm-hmm. We'll have your drinks brought right to your room.
Wonderful, thank you. And he'll go ahead and kiss her again. Kind of playing into what it is that she wants from him.
Oh yeah, no, she'll kiss you. She'll specifically she'll kiss you on the neck, and she'll actually take a little bite out of you.
All right. Enough to make someone sweat. And he'll make his way back to the others.
Okay.
Follow me, please. And if you want to describe the private rooms, okay.
Yes. As you start walking through this club and past the throng of undulating, oversexed individuals that are down in this place, you are going to realize that this basement has to be larger than the building that it's under. This has got to definitely take over the undersides of many of the buildings in the area. But Emil is going to lead you over to a hallway that has various rooms down it. The doors are all painted white, and the symbols on each of these doors are painted black. And a lot of them are like playing card symbols. You'll have hearts and spades and clubs, but one of them towards the back is shaped like a tag. And it matches the key ring that's on the key that Emil has. The strange thing about this hallway is that the light that passes over is not a black light, it's a red light. And it makes the black paint on the doors glow a vivid red color. And the actual symbols just seem like portals when you look at them under this light. It looks like you could actually put your hand through them and that your hand would just go through it. If you try, though, they will not. It is a solid door. It's just a trick of the light. But as you go into the room that matches the key that you have, it's an interesting setup. There's a very large heart-shaped bed towards the back of the room. There's a few chairs, some couches, and a small round table that'll hold about 6 people.
Here we are. Please make yourselves comfortable. Our refreshments will be here shortly.
So Dr. Ford goes and takes a seat very silently.
The lights are less harsh in this room also, and you can control them if you wish to have specific type of lighting. I'm sure Emil knows how to handle that.
Yeah, he'll set it to just he'll set the lighting to be like not too harsh, but also not like gloomy or dim. You know, just kind of like a comfortable resting room light setting.
Yeah.
You know, he'll keep the lights over the bed dark.
It's a good idea not to have black lights in this room, actually.
Yeah.
Why is everything glowing blue?
It's like an episode of Dateline.
Jackson Pollock painting.
It's just glow in the dark paint everywhere.
Vinny's going to stand opposite where everybody is sitting, put down both backpacks, and start pulling stuff out, putting it on the table.
What all are you pulling out?
Oh, bowls, daggers.
Bowling and daggers. Well, it's not the same for a bag or chains, but I guess it all each in their own when it comes to their taste for fun.
But we're not here for fun.
I'm going to need tools.
Is that all is that all Benny's taking out of his bag? It's just bowls and daggers?
Ritual equipment.
That looks like stuff my mom used to have.
Mill just kind of has a puzzled look on his face.
Paul will come take a seat at the table beside Dr. Ford. But he won't say anything, he's just watching.
You know what coming here made me think of? What if you had a club environment and you altered the strobe lights to be pulsing in Morse code, and that way you could communicate with other people?
Either that or you'd put them in anaphylactic shock.
Just thought.
What if they're already in a code, just not Morse code?
Could be binary, but I don't know how binary works. It's just computer stuff.
Well, while we wait for our refreshments, let's start with the appetizer of tonight's events. Paul.
Yes.
The appetizer?
You've had
I prefer it not to be.
I think everyone in this room has many, many questions that they want to ask. Myself included. So let's start with the questions pertaining to you, because I know you said you were open to answering some questions, so let's start with that first. It's been some time since we've spoke. Oh, please go ahead.
If we're going to be asking questions of Paul, I'm going to need to do a ritual to know that he speaks the truth.
By all means, as long as Paul's okay with it.
Paul, do you agree?
Well, we're friends, right? Sure.
I'll have him bleed into the cup.
While Paul is bleeding into the cup, the door is going to open. Not a knock, not anything. They just open. and two people walk in. One of them is female. She is dressed very scantily. The other is male, who is also dressed rather scantily. They're both wearing masks. And they walk in with trays with several drinks on them, placing 5 in front of 5 drinks in front of Emil, 5 drinks in front of Paul, and one rather odd-looking drink in front of Mr. Prophet, which is a tall glass, wide rim, almost like a brandy glass, that is filled with crushed ice, and all of them have blood inside of them.
Nice.
Emil is gonna immediately just start downing drinks.
Okay. The servers leave without a word.
Because he was actually in the efforts of stopping Benny from bleeding Paul because it's hunger. And so he's just gonna turn his gaze to the cups and just start drinking.
Okay.
Paul looks confused and says, I thought I just ordered one.
I'm glad they didn't put whip on it. I hate it when they do that. This tastes good.
He'll tentatively reach out and start drinking from the one on the left.
They all taste slightly different. If you want to, you can throw an intelligence plus insight test with each glass to try to figure out something about it. But there's not going to be many mechanical differences between each of the drinks.
We'll give it a shot.
Also, last session, did our hunger reset?
Yours did.
Okay.
Because you were not here and we had a bit of a time jump.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'm not going to have you get screwed out of that one. If you Paul want to go ahead and roll a rouse check to see where you're starting. And we got, what was that? 3 successes for Mr. Prophet.
Mhm.
3 successes. You're going to get that this is a highly sexually charged drink.
Hmm.
It's definitely sanguine. Paul, looks like you are starting with 2 hunger, and but you have 5 drinks in front of you, so you should be fine. All right, now that you're all just sitting there with your drinks.
No. After downing a third one, Emil will just kind of relax a little.
Rolling a rouse check to fill the cup with my blood mixed with Paul's.
Okay. Looks like you get a little hungrier too.
Can I re-roll with the book?
Yes, you can. So what exactly are you attempting to do with Paul there?
Truth of blood. I'm just here to listen and tell if anything he says is false.
Okay.
So who wants to ask the first question?
My finger goes in.
Out of character, you shouldn't say that.
Phrasing.
Children.
So, Paul, when we were in the tunnels beneath the city, you said you felt like something was calling you. Correct?
That's right.
But you don't know what it is.
I do know now.
What was it? Yeah, let's let Benny make the roll.
Oh yeah. Do I need to roll 2, right?
Yep. Yours is composure plus occult.
Benny got 3, Paul got 2.
Yep. It's a truthful statement.
All right. It was the arm of Saint George.
I'll nod.
Is that the correct name?
Yes.
Am I crazy? I keep wanting to say the arm of Saint Germain, and I don't know.
No. It's the arm of Saint George the Dragon Slayer.
Okay.
You said Benny nods when he answers.
Yep.
And why was it calling you?
That I'm unaware of. I was simply told to follow my instincts, and I would know what I needed to grab when I saw it.
Who told you this?
My elder.
I'll nod.
And why did they want you to get the armor of St. George?
They didn't tell me what it was at first, but they mentioned plans for Clan Zemitzi.
I'm not familiar with any of the Lasombra in the city. What elder? Who are you answering to as an elder?
Didn't see their face. They drew me into the shadows and gave me my instructions. That wasn't entirely true.
Okay. So expound on it a little bit more.
Paul will sigh. I couldn't see most of their faces.
Yeah,
But one person.
the way that the ritual works, Paul, is that you will involuntarily start giving information if you fail a test.
Okay. So after a pause, he continues and seems to kind of correct himself. Actually, well, there was multiple, but I couldn't see their faces. There was one who did appear to me, and I recognized it as Lucita.
At that, my hand comes out of the blood. What?
Does a Millen recognize that name?
You would know the name Lucida. It's not like it's a rare name or anything like that, but you would know that the Camarilla has in the past hired a woman as an enforcer for hire, kind of like a scourge for the inner circle, by the name of Lucida de Aragorn, and she's a member of Clan Lasombra, but she has seemed to have, the last anybody heard, she's defected to the Sabbat.
Lucita.
I'll put my finger back in.
Lucida de Aragorn? Sabbat defector? Or defector to the Sabbat, I should say.
I have never known the Sabbat. I have never met her before the other night, so I couldn't say.
Checking that one.
What? You're not gonna take my word for that? Come on.
Ooh.
Just a friendly reminder, willpower can be spent on each of these rolls. Otherwise, that will end the ritual.
I'll say, yeah, I'll burn point will.
Okay, you can re-roll 3 regular dice.
It compares 4 to 3. The willpower spent.
He was being honest.
He's being honest. It's strange.
Strange how?
He says he's not with the Sabbat, but he's interacted with Lucita.
It's not that strange to me.
They are of the same clan.
Their entry into the Camarilla didn't purge them all of the Sabbat influence.
Yes, but is he being influenced by them currently?
That was about to be my next question. Who do you hold allegiance to above all else?
Out of character, that's kind of a tough question because I'm not sure if Paul actually knows.
If you don't know,
That could be his answer.
Influence you.
That's true. He'll eventually, after a very long pause, say, I'm not entirely sure. I like to think that I have allegiance to you all. And I like to think that I have allegiance to my clan as well.
Who would you put first in under extreme circumstances? I guess I can phrase it in a different way. If this coterie shared with you very classified information, could you be trusted to keep that information from those who don't deserve to know it? Those who are not authorized to know.
He takes a second and seems to be kind of looking each of them in the eye, almost searching for something, before he eventually says, yes, I would not disclose this coterie secrets.
Benny with 5 and Paul with 4.
He's being truthful.
Seeing, oh, sorry, go ahead.
At that, I'll take my finger out the bowl and end the ritual.
Emil kind of relaxes when... I assume Benny confirms that that was a honest answer?
Yes.
All right. Emil kind of relaxes a little. Anybody else who has questions that I didn't think to ask?
You covered the ones that I was interested in.
Now that that's out of the way, I suppose get on to what you're all really here for. Start with proper introductions, I suppose.
Finally, bowling.
Dr. Ford will take Paul's hand and go, it's much worse.
Dr. Ford, I don't understand why you think your hesitancy and your opinion of it being worse.
Paul
I'd
does
much
look at
rather
her.
be going bowling.
Paul does look at her concerned. I noticed you guys seemed out of sorts when I arrived. Has something happened?
Yes. But
Doors
I
have been
think...
opened, and
Yeah.
we have walked through them.
What'd Benny say?
Doors have been opened, and we have walked through them.
As motivated as someone like you is, Dr. Ford, I'm surprised that you don't find this as a opportunity to catapult yourself into the higher echelons of the Camarilla. Although I guess I should be fair, it is a little shocking to realize that the politics that you've been playing are insignificant to the politics of those actually in charge. So I guess I can understand your hesitancy and a little apprehension.
My existence is on a knife's edge. And the fact that I became essentially the only Tremere in the city was simultaneously a liberation and a huge millstone upon my neck. This, as you describe it as an opportunity, is just another edge to the blade and another millstone about my neck.
Well, I can understand why you feel that way, considering the circumstances of how you're being brought into it. But I'd rather you not look at it that way.
Well, you're going to swear...
If you would prefer to see it as anything, it is liberating you from the stone already upon your neck and perhaps placing you under another one, but
It's not to. The opportunities that I present supersede any of the previous things that you were bound to.
You see, you're likely to swear us to secrecy, not only about who you are, but also what you are about. And as such, I could then not explain the change in my behavior to my own superiors.
Well, perhaps I can introduce you to somebody who will give you the proper will help you with the proper way of dealing with that.
Oh.
I don't comprehend the entirety of your plan's inner politics. Other than I know that they're more cutthroat than the Rose Garden, but that's no small thing to say. But before we get into that, let's start with a proper introduction. My name is not Emil Winters. I was not embraced or born or raised in New York. My name is Henry Hogan.
Well, I've never liked a meal. Anyway.
Ooh.
You never liked a mill.
No, it's live backwards. Who names their kid that?
Glad I'm not the only one that sees it that way.
Well, Emil Winters was a neonate from New York. Emil Winters isn't a made-up name. He was a kindred, and he was Toreador.
I'll slide the bowl over to him. I feel we should do this for you, too.
Do you really think it's going to be necessary, considering the gravity of the information I'm sharing with you?
Hey, if Paul can be honest with us, I think you can be honest with us, too.
Very well, but I hope someone can perform the ritual for you, Benjamin.
Like I lie. The one time I do, this happens. I don't think I'll do it again.
Good. We learned our lesson. He will open his wrist and pour blood into the bowl.
Okay, make a rouse check.
I succeeded.
I'll bleed in as well. And finger goes in.
Who will be my interrogator on this lovely evening? He looks to Dr. Ford.
Oh, there's so many places I could start. You've told us your name. You've told us that Emil was a real kindred and a Toreador to boot. And you've also told us that you are an Alastor, looking to make us into auditors or your subordinates. Are you, in truth, an Alastor?
I am.
Oh, shit.
Messy critical.
I failed. So I have to involuntarily give you more information to the question, correct?
The way that it actually works is a win tells them whether or not the statement is true, as far as you know. On a critical win by the caster, the subject has to expand on the information. Yes, so yes, you do.
Okay. Yes, I am an Alistair. I have been an Alistair
since 1997. Although I wasn't fully promoted to the rank until 1999, and then stationed in New York in 2000. Emil Winters was a real toreador. His identity was handed to me by Justicar Lucind upon my station in New York. The real Emil Winters went missing, and his sire had no idea of where he had absconded to, but he was believed dead, to have met final death.
It is my understanding that an Alistor is someone who has been tasked to hunt down anathema. Is your target... No. Who is your target?
Real quick, before Henry answers that question, because you got a messy critical on that last question, Ben, Benny is going to suffer from his compulsion of judgment. You are going to be compelled to punish anyone that you see transgress against against their personal code. So if you think that somebody is breaking their own tenets, you need to slake at least one thirst from them. It does not matter who it is. You are 3 down. You are 3 traits down in all challenges that have nothing to do with that. For the rest of the scene.
So would I be 3 traits down in this interrogation?
Yep. Well, I mean, actually, I could argue against that because you could be. Yeah, you could actually be using this to try to find out if they've turned against their own tenets. But you would probably be trying to guide the questions in that direction.
Yeah.
So the question was, who am I hunting?
Yes.
I am currently stationed here by the Inner Council. Not on a hunt, but I was here to oversee the convention held by Prince Marcus. I was sent here undercover to ensure that it went smoothly and that no anathema saw the opportunity to interfere or infiltrate the meeting.
So you didn't know at the time that the agitator of Prague was returning.
Was what?
And are you working with her?
Oh.
I didn't hear the last 3 words of your question, Dega.
So she did not add those 3 words.
Oh.
I think that was Benny?
Yeah.
Are you working with her?
I did not know she was here. Ty goes to the active kindred.
Yep.
I did not know she was here, and no, I'm not working with her. Those are honest statements.
I suppose we should.
Why didn't you tell us this before? So that way we could work with you.
I didn't tell you before because... Ooh, I totally failed that. I didn't tell you before because I was given express orders from my Red Alistair not to. I was told that if I was going to name auditors that I had to be certain with the current unstable climate of Prague, I had to be certain that they could be trusted. And
are you 100% loyal to the Camarilla?
Oh. Can I blood surge this?
You should be able to blood surge. You should be able to blood surge any attribute, so I don't see why not.
Okay. I do not get hungrier. I got 3 and Benny got 2, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I will not. Yeah, as I say, I'm not going to spend willpower on it. Benny's
Damn.
willpower rerolls are so good to him.
Yes.
100% loyal. Benny, is anyone really 100% loyal to the Camarilla? It's a port in a storm for most kindred. I have always been someone who capitalizes on a fruitful opportunity. I stumbled into this position and didn't get much of a choice on whether or not I wanted it or not. But it came with a great number of perks, including communication with the Inner Council and some of the highest ranking members of the Camarilla.
So who amongst us are you planning to betray?
Hi, Benny.
I will autofill that. I intend to betray none of you. I won't even resist that one.
It is unfortunately a mental check. You still have to throw the test.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't auto fail. Your brain is always going to try to resist.
Okay.
And you still are surged, though.
It's just for a roll, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just for one roll.
Oh, I thought it was for the scene. Sorry.
No, I wish.
Jason Carl ran it that way during New York by Night.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, you can just run it however you want, really. It's whatever works easiest for you, I imagine. I have no intentions of betraying any of you. I didn't even want to bring you into this. Not like this, at least.
Prophet wants to use his little talent from his lore sheet and see if he can, by listening to the way Henry is answering questions, he can figure out if there's a vulnerability to exploit.
Dr. Ford's going to ask, why did you become an Alistair?
You see, he almost like forces a deep breath. I became an Alistair because in my dedicated loyalty and servitude to my adopted sire, playing the game of politics in my city, actions I took in the moment to secure her power resulted in the death of someone on the red list, an anathema.
Is that all?
That's how I became an Alistair. There are 2 ways to be made an Alistair. You kill an anathema, or you're an Archon who's appointed as to the position of Alistair.
So you've mentioned that your sire was an adoptive sire. What clan are you from?
Toreador.
Okay. I suppose that's something that makes it a lot easier.
Indeed. I'm not like very many of my clanmates. I don't get... My art is not a physical art. Not in the same way that many of them do.
Who's your actual sire?
I don't know her name.
So you're an Alistair. You're not here to hunt anyone in particular. We do have someone, I believe, who is anathema in the form of Katarina the Wise. And now you're recruiting us all into becoming auditors. Aside from forcing us to keep your cover, what is your end goal with this?
To survive. Because I felt that is only partially true. It is a true statement, but it's not the full truth.
You're not telling us something. What are you lying about?
I'm not lying about anything.
What are you holding back?
My ultimate goal is to continue existing and enjoying every opportunity that I can with the immortality that I've been gifted with. Unfortunately, Catherine Weiss's appearance in this city puts that in danger. Because as an Alistair, it is my duty to remove anathema from the equation entirely. And I don't quite frankly don't look forward to that encounter.
Isn't it a dereliction of duty to not pursue her?
Who said I wasn't?
The other night, when you convinced me to not spend the day in the tunnels, you did. By suggesting that it was suicide to tempt a possible confrontation with her.
It is. Most certainly.
So you have no plan then?
That is not at all what I said. You wanted to spend day sleep in foreign territory controlled by one of the most dangerous kindred on the face of the earth. That is suicide.
Was controlled.
That is not a plan. That is walking face first into death.
We had no evidence that she had been in those tunnels
And
recently.
We had no evidence to support that she wasn't.
So
she didn't have some other foreign sorceress means of keeping tabs on it. This is a very dangerous game. I don't play it lightly.
What is your plan?
Well, as we currently speak, there are a handful of archons navigating the tunnels under the city and mapping them out, finalizing the final details on a map of every tunnel in the city.
How many archons are in the city?
Mekhet, you want to give me DM me an exact answer?
You actually, I'll just say it straight out. You have no idea exactly how many are here.
Okay. I'm not certain of the exact number. I have interacted with at least 4. But whether or not they're still here or not, I can't be certain. Or that there are more that haven't come in and replaced them.
Are you in a position to grant us boons for assisting you?
Giving you boons? I want to take a moment and speak sincerely. I understand that this revelation is jarring and shocking in every capacity, and in Dr. Ford's case, very concerning. But the Alistairs, and Emil's going to remove the glove from his right hand and reveal to you a symbol of a blood red ankh. The position of Alistair's is we are the Camarilla's secret police. Our positions, our covers, our very nightlife is one filled with danger and filled with constantly chasing things that are larger than ourselves. Naming you auditors is a boon. Yes, it comes with protecting. I'm doing it as a means to protect my cover. But as an Alistair, this brand on my hand gives me the means, the right of destruction to any kindred I see fit, and impunity from princes and sheriffs calling the right of destruction on my head. If you are my auditor, that right extends to you as well.
But only if your identity, so to speak, is revealed.
When it comes to that time, I'll reveal it. I've been doing this for 20-something years now. And the stories of Emil being to all the different kindred domains across the world, that is true. I have been to a great number of kindred domains.
And that's the one that gets me. As the blood pops, smokes, and then turns to ash in the cup. Hopefully that was truthful.
Should we try again?
No. I'm fairly certain you are who you say you are now.
So, Henry, it's nice to meet you.
You as well, Janice Ford. Are there any other questions?
You can see the prophet suppressing a bunch of questions.
Yeah, prophet.
What do you have to ask?
Well, the first thing I thought was, would that make you like a great grandparent? Are you related to Hulk Hogan?
Prophet, now's not the time. He slams his hand in front of him.
Annie, I don't know why you're upset. We just got a promotion. You were like the mall cop, and now we're in the Secret Service. Why is it a problem?
Do you have any relevant questions, Mr. Prophet?
Well, that works different in my head. Wait, hold on. The brand on your palm, how do people authenticate that?
Funnily enough, and he looks to Dr. Ford and Benny, blood source free.
It is, to my knowledge, Clan Tremere found a way to make certain tattoos radiate.
Clan Tremere found. Clan Tremere stole.
To my knowledge, I could be wrong.
On this one, Doctor, you are.
The mark of an Alistair is thaumaturgical in nature. It cannot be removed. It cannot be replicated. And it is a secret held by those I answer to. At least, that's what they tell me.
Have you influenced this group in ways we don't know about?
Influence you in ways that you don't know about. See him think really hard. Other than earlier getting you to shut your mouth, blabbing my secrets in the communal haven, no, I don't believe I have. Not knowingly.
Wait. We gotta back up. I only repeated secrets that you said in open public space across a cell phone.
A secure line.
You say secure, but like secure is an illusion.
Yeah, I vocally spoke those secrets to someone who knows those secrets over a secure and untraceable line.
And yet you
Provided-
failed to keep it secret. That's why we're all here.
you were angry about this?
If you're failing to do the basic part of security, yes, I'm angry because now I'm locked into the same statutes as you.
Well, let's recall the events of that night a little more precisely, shall we? The lot of you were staring in the face of Catherine Weiss's sorcery and trying to figure out some information on it, any pivotal information that could be of assistance to us. I said I might know someone, but I would have to step away to take the call. Had Mr. Prophet not subtly eavesdropped on a conversation that was not his to hear, none of you would be here. So really, whose fault is it? Me for doing what my coterie asked of me and securing my own safety, or Mr. Prophet for keeping his nose in other people's business and not where it belongs?
I'd say yours for not being aware of the environment in which you are in.
I mean, the point, Henry, is if anyone had been tracking us in Obfuscate, they could have been there too and heard it. I'm not unhappy with the arrangement, frankly, but
Well, I guess you'll just have to find it in your hearts to forgive me for my sloppiness. Waiting on a pager reply wasn't exactly expedient in the moment.
Benny is visibly holding back rage at this point.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff I tried to tell Omnis, and he got all pissy too. So I don't know, maybe you two could be like best buddies now.
Benjamin, what's the issue?
The issue is Benny is like a honor-bound sheriff, and you've just conscripted him into a war that he didn't sign up to fight. If I'm reading it right.
No, let me make myself very clear. Now that each of you have all of the information, it's your decision. It's your choice. I'm not going to force you, no matter how much I would prefer that you just relent, agree, and when this is all said and done and we make it out of Prague alive, those of you who want to be on your way can be on your way, and those of you who wish to remain in service of the Camarilla at the highest echelon, we're welcome to. I've had a few auditors in the last 20 years. Most of them don't remember it. There were a couple who did.
Like being painted into a corner. His fangs are out. He's speaking through gritted teeth.
So in this interaction, Dr. Ford's actually starting to smile. She leans over to Paul. Like, do you think we're all lost boys now, Peter?
I'll shrug. Looks that way. Doesn't that make me the leader, though?
No, unfortunately, in this case, that makes Captain Hook the leader. And she points to Henry.
Benjamin.
He's going to teach you responsibility.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's going to teach you responsibility.
Ah, okay.
And all of us at the same time.
Teach you responsibility.
It's a euphemism.
Benjamin, you need to calm down.
Wait, can I intervene here for a second, Henry? I know I come from a lineage that's misunderstood, but even I know that when someone's mad, the last phrase they want to hear is someone telling them what they need to do. Benny, I will use all my resources to get us through this so you are free and clear. Buddy, I will help you in ways I haven't revealed. It's gonna be okay.
Henry, habit there. Deep cover got me. Henry is going to put a hand on Benny's hand, if he'll allow him to.
Oh, the hand gets there.
Benjamin.
He's still staring daggers.
I understand your apprehension and your anger. They are justified. If you have something you wish to say, or something that you wish to do, by all means. I will not stop you. He'll kind of look to everyone. Does everyone need to get a shot in to feel better about themselves?
No, I feel fine.
I'll flip over his hand and I'll start to drink from him.
Oh.
Are you trying to subside that compulsion?
Oh my gosh.
That was sneaky, and I approve.
Yeah.
Go ahead and refresh Benny's willpower. That's the only way I can think of actually rewarding you for that. That was very good.
That was cool.
Dr. Ford just got a look of like she's personally offended by this turn of action. It's like there's a vague memory of something similar happening not too long ago.
Yeah, how do we... Storyteller, how do we want to handle this?
With?
Benjamin taking a drink?
What about it?
Oh, like, is it a... Like, is Henry's... Like, I don't know, Kindred can be affected by the kiss too, right?
I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of back and forth on that. I would have to say, is Benny trying to enact the kiss?
No, this is fast and nasty.
Okay, so then no, he's just taking a bite out of you. Are you trying to deal any damage as well? Like, is this in between the kiss and an attack, or are you just outright attacking?
It's somewhere in between.
Okay. Go ahead and take a
I don't want to kill him. But
I know, but teeth are... I'm going to go ahead and say take 1 aggravated damage.
Okay.
Because he's not trying to cause, like, severe damage or anything. So I'll say... But you are going to have to take something from this. So yes, take an ag.
Okay, that's what I wanted to double check on. You see Henry will obviously wince in the excruciating pain, but he does not pull away. While that's happening, I would like to double check a thing really quickly, but I think I want to activate a discipline while he's in contact with me.
Okay.
Okay, I would like to use Scry the Soul on Benny.
Okay.
Has Benny ever committed diablerie?
I heard no.
He has not.
Okay.
You're lucky this isn't any other edition, because whether or not they actually have, the Banu Hakim always show up as having committed diablerie.
Yeah. This is the only time.
Okay. Then I let him drink, and I don't fight back.
And after I take enough to slake 1 hunger, I throw your hand to the side. Why couldn't you just let us walk away?
kind of gripping his hand.
I'm not good at keeping secrets.
I understand that.
This is going to be too much for me. See where it's pushed me already. He flips over your hand. This is what I don't want to become.
Henry has a very sorrowful look on his face. And he looks you in the eyes. I am sincerely sorry, but I couldn't let you walk away. And in fact, I'll be honest with you all a step further. Something that I was not going to tell you. Thought it would be better to let you make your decision and feel proud of the choice you made. But there's a consequence to knowing the truth.
There's always a consequence.
And that consequence, I didn't want to see any of you have to suffer.
Well, we can't make an informed decision without knowing. What is it?
Do they erase our memory?
I wish.
Didn't work. Tried.
He kind of gives you a puzzled look. I left you alone for 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and tip back the last 2 drinks that I've got.
Okay. They're not as good as the others because they've been sitting there for a while.
Yeah. The consequences of knowing the identity of an Alistair undercover and not being recruited as an auditor, or that's it. If the consequences of knowing and not being recruited as an auditor, or at least a bellator, is final death.
An auditor or a what?
A bellator.
Bellator. That one I'm not familiar with.
He kind of looks at Benny, like, uncertain. Bellators are, think, mercenaries. They serve Alistairs in a job-by-job basis. Almost always, a job of enacting final death on a target.
Uh-huh. So being an auditor is a lot less messy then.
Yeah. But final death is the only correctable, surefire, guaranteed correction to the identity of an Alistair being discovered. And as confused, and he looks at Mr. Prophet, and irritated, and he looks at Dr. Ford, as some of you make me, I didn't wish final death on any of you.
Join us or die.
Welcome to the Camarilla.
I think he didn't want to have to fill out the paperwork.
Think what you want.
Well, I appreciate the thought.
It's still your decision. Whatever little of a choice that it actually is, now that you know the full.
Well, I'd hate to see you have to kill all of us.
It wouldn't be me.
Oh.
I mean,
But you would still be held responsible in some way, I imagine?
No, see, when you all discovered the truth, that would have been the point in time that I had the choice to make, to either name you auditors and use the right of destruction on you. I chose to offer you a choice of recruitment. I've already spoken with my Red Alistair. If you choose to go your own way and not accept this lack of me trying to keep you all from final death, then I am to notify the Red Alistair immediately, and they will deal with it. I wanted to let each of you make the decision without having to know that was the consequence, because I thought perhaps if you made the decision that you were you truly wanted, you wouldn't feel pressured or backed into a corner, as Benny said.
Just from dealing with my own clan, I know the rules of conscription. There was no other outcome than join or die.
Well,
I just needed to hear it from your...
those are your options.
You might do better if you framed it more like die or join. Then it makes it sound like
I'll take that into consideration for the next time that I accidentally let a coterie of kindred know my secret. Time to die, or...
well, I suppose I'm in.
He looks genuinely surprised.
Dr. Ford is smiling in a kind of like in a knowing smile. Like she's putting on a facade.
Mr. Prophet, I assume that you're still comfortable with the promotion?
Yeah, and I hope that you can use me to consult on some of the policies, and this means I'll have more resources. I can help.
Indeed, there are a lot of benefits that come with being promoted. I can assure you, I don't travel from domain to domain in a private jet, a sun-proof private jet, on my own expense, out of my own pocketbook.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing I'm gonna take issue with. That if you're really playing this secret role thing, you should roll into town like anyone else, not on the jet.
Well, I don't announce myself coming off the jet. It flies in, I integrate into a city. And these are all things I could teach you if you choose to stay after Prague.
Yeah, some of the stuff runs counter of how I'm trained.
I've gotten that.
And maybe we're just on a spectrum. Like I said, you're the face man. You're Templeton Peck. You can do that. I'd rather be in the back of a van with binoculars.
There are great number of Alistairs who take their position in that more traditional secret and secure approach.
Do you have
Some
to
of
have
them...
our answer tonight?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have to have our answer tonight?
Mekhet? I want to say the answer was yes. But, I was told to get their decision as soon as possible, wasn't I?
That's what they said, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Benjamin, yes, I need it tonight. I need it before we leave here.
There is a knock on the door.
I'll get up and go crack the door.
Okay. When you crack the door, there is a young woman outside wearing a red dress. Her boots are black leather. They come up thigh high, and she has a feathered, almost 90s looking haircut. We were just wondering if you needed a top off on your drinks. And she speaks with an American accent.
Yes, actually, I do believe we could.
What can we get for you?
Are you doing anything?
You want a drink from me? And she'll smile at you.
You kind of shrug, if you're not busy.
She'll smile and she'll say, sure.
Why don't you come back in, say, 15 minutes?
15 minutes?
Maybe bring another cold one and something with a bit of He'll kind of look back into the room. What kind of flavors are we all looking for? What's everyone feeling? He just kind of turns and answers for them. Just bring something lively.
Bring
Something
some.
with a bit of life.
She'll smile and wink at you and say something lively or someone lively.
Why not both?
Sounds good. And she'll turn and leave.
And he'll shut the door again. Lock it.
Can I get a wits and awareness when you close the door?
Yeah. Heightened sense of sight.
I don't think that's really gonna help.
Okay. Looks like 3 successes.
3 successes. You are gonna notice that the club music has stopped. Everything's gone quiet.
This doesn't seem like the kind of place where the club music ever stops. Like, I got that feeling. Is that correct?
No, the club music is up typically for social reasons.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stop the girl in the hallway. I'm gonna holler out to her. Oh, actually, on second thought, why don't you just come on in? I think we're all amicable to the idea.
Did you want me to get the rest of the drinks? She turns around and kind of gestures with her hand down the hall.
No, I'm gonna hit her with entrancement.
She will kind of get a little sly look on her face and kind of look behind her down the empty hallway, and she will start sauntering back over.
You come on in.
All right. So everybody, this girl in a short red dress with thigh-high leather boots and a short feathered haircut walks to the door. She's very pretty.
Do I recognize her at all?
Not at all. No, you've never seen her before.
Okay. As soon as she comes in, he'll just shut and lock the door.
Mm-hmm.
What was your name, dear?
Lily.
Lily. I don't believe I've ever seen you here before. How long have you been working here?
I'm new to the area.
Are you? You're new to Prague entirely?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been here?
Just a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone, this is Lily, and he's going to put his hands on her shoulders, kind of stand behind her, and give everybody a look that says something's fucking wrong. Lily is going to be some refreshments for the evening, and he kind of pats her on the shoulder while he's giving everybody this "we're in trouble" look.
She's going to turn and look you in the eye and ask where you want her.
Is there a bathroom in this room?
Yes, there is.
Why don't you go ahead and take a moment and freshen up, and I'll discuss with everybody what their desires are.
Okay, she winks at you and turns around and starts walking into the bathroom and shuts the door behind her.
Before she can get through the door, I'm going to cut my hand and pat her on the back with a little bit of blood.
Oh.
Are you trying to be stealthy at all about doing this?
Yes.
Okay, do me a favor and roll a, let me see. Why don't you do a manipulation plus stealth roll to do that? So you got 2 successes?
Yep. 2.
She got 4.
More.
Right.
Yeah, when you go to do that, she kind of just changes the position of her walking, if that makes any sense. Like she's walking in a straight line towards the bathroom, but as you come at her with your hand out, she kind of just like steps towards the right a little bit as she's walking. If anybody wants to throw a wits and awareness check when she does that.
Oh, yes.
I'll do that.
At this point, I would be using all of my heightened senses.
Mm-hmm.
No successes from Dr. Ford.
Well, you've got things on your mind.
Yes.
2, 3,
2 successes from
6,
Paul.
7.
Okay, how many successes do we all have? Hold on. They kind of just popped up all at once on my side. Dr. Ford got none.
Yeah. No.
Mr. Prophet got 2,
What?
3, 4.
1, 2, 3,
7.
4, 5,
Because it's a
7.
critical.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I wasn't even looking at the critical. Yeah. Okay, well, Mr. Prophet's definitely going to see this. How about Henry?
Henry got 3, it looks like.
3,
Paul got 2.
2. Okay, Paul's not going to catch anything. You said you had your heightened senses active and everything. Okay, so Mr. Prophet and Henry are both going to notice that as Benny cut his hand open, she turned her head slightly and started sniffing in the air. So she definitely knew that was coming. But she's going to continue on to the bathroom without anyone, unless anybody has anything to do about that. All right.
For her to go in and close the door.
Yeah, she goes in, she closes the door.
Henry's immediately pointing at Paul and like gesturing for him to stand up. And is going to gesture to like a dresser or something that they can block the door with, and tell Paul to get it in front of the door,
Bathroom door or the entrance?
the bathroom door.
Okay. Yeah, he'll nod and he'll move to do that. Is there a dresser? Or he could move the couch.
There's not a dresser. There are a few chairs, a couple couches, the bed itself. There might be a couple like little nightstands next to the bed, but it's a big heart-shaped bed.
Yeah, Emil move over to one side of the couch and like gesture to Paul to like lift it so he can quietly move it across and set it in front of the door.
Okay.
Once they set it down, Prophet chugs the remainder of his drink and looks and said, "Should we go dark?"
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna have to roll 2 rouse checks. Just gonna do 2d10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I do get hungrier. And we are cloaked, and I'm applying the Silence of Death and Ghost in the Machine.
Nice.
Okay.
So we can see each other, not like Prophet just says like whisper.
Henry will nod.
Yes, you can definitely see each other. You can also whisper towards each other. Please just go ahead and say that you're whispering. Don't actually whisper. I need to be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
All right. So
Dr. Ford is going to pull the scalpel out of her purse.
That woman is more than likely kindred, and something is going on. There's no music playing. Something has happened. So be ready, be careful.
We're going out the way we came in.
I don't know if I know. Is there another way out?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
Give me an intelligence plus. I'll give you streetwise on this one.
4 successes.
4 successes. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say that you do know a couple of like back door exits just in case this place ever gets raided by police.
I only got Mr. Prophet's the one who got 4. I only got 1.
Oh, okay. Then what was Mr. Prophet rolling for?
Oh, yeah, to look for other means of exit windows.
You're not going to get any windows down here because it's underground. But but sorry, no. The roll was strictly for Henry because he has reason to know about this place.
Okay.
He just kind of shakes his head no.
Do you want me to scout ahead and see what's upstairs?
Yeah, I'll follow with you. I'll cover you.
That won't be necessary, actually. I can do it from here.
Oh, that's
and he's going to cast Shadow Servant.
Okay. So you guys see the way that the lights are in this room, everybody does cast their standard, their shadow against the wall or on the floor. What ends up happening here is Paul's shadow literally peels itself up off the wall. It takes a couple of seconds for Paul to what looks like regenerate a shadow on the wall that's for him, but his silhouette, his likeness peels itself up off the wall and seems to be standing waiting for orders.
Paul doesn't say anything verbally, but he looks at it and looks at the door, and it understands what to do.
It just nods. It nods and it slips through the crack in between the door and the wall. Now, are you able to see through this thing's eyes, or?
I don't have shadow perspective, so I think last time I used this power, you just had it kind of give me like short bursts of
insight.
Impressions or visions. Yeah.
Okay.
As opposed to like I can't see everything and hear everything that it sees.
All right. I'm going to. You want to slip into a behind closed doors, and I'll give you some information.
Sure.
All right. All right. So, as you're sitting there in your chair waiting for the basic psychic connection between you and your shadow to come back to you, it tells you that there is someone. It has a hard time giving you details on what they look like, but there is someone who is very jittery by the edge of the hallway leading into the main room. They seem nervous, or at least impatient. And then there is someone else, 3 elves sitting on a couch out in the main showroom where that whole situation with the girl tied to the ceiling was earlier. She's still there. She's not moving. The gentleman who was also performing the show is also still there, but he's laying on the ground and not moving. There's a few people laying on the ground or slumped over in chairs.
All right. And can it get like an impression of, I guess, the person by the hall is jittery. How are the other 3 people in the main room?
They seem relaxed.
Can it tell me sort of what they look like, or what sort of, if they have any sort of equipment on them?
It appears to be the 3 sitting on the couch. One has short blonde hair and a beard, and he is just sitting there kind of bored, if anything. He appears to be bored. The other one, the other male, has long dark hair, and he seems fixated on a weapon that he's holding. It looks like a large sword. And then the one who's sitting in between them is a woman who has her face obscured.
Alrighty. I think that's everything I can think to ask.
Okay. Heading back to the Elysium.
Oh, they've returned.
Paul will kind of sit back down, almost waiting and focusing for a minute before he says, "There's one person in the hallway at the entrance, and in the main room there's 3 people on the couch sitting together, and the rest seem to be down. I'm not sure if they're dead or not. One of them has a sword, and another is a woman, but I can't see her face."
Can you describe the others?
The man without the sword, he has blonde hair and a beard. The man with the sword has longer dark hair. And then the one by the hallway didn't get a good impression, but he seemed nervous.
Was there blood on the sword?
I couldn't tell.
The one time I leave Elysium without the entity assault rifle. It's okay, I still have my revolver. Stay strapped or get clapped. George Washington said that once. George Washington said that, probably.
How do we want to do this?
Well,
Do we deal with the problem at hand, or do we try and leave that one?
I think we deal with our visitor before anything, and we try to do it quietly.
Once you break this thing I've got going, though, I can't turn it back on for you.
Understood. Then let's just see if we can get out of here.
You guys stay hidden. I can try and restrain our visitor if we want. That way I'm the only one who's exposed.
Don't know how I feel about leaving any of you to be exposed.
Yeah, with all due respect, it's best for us just to exfil right now.
Let's not make
I'll
a hasty decision. Let's just go and see what's going on. If we can get out of here without being stopped, then let's do so. But did anyone not finish a drink?
I'll probably left a couple.
And tip a couple of those back because they've been sitting a minute, so I imagine it takes more than one to slake a hunger.
With the way these drinks are made, it's going to be 2 just like a hunger.
I will go ahead and rouse for fleetness. Well, we could wait here until she comes out of the bathroom.
Well, you guys barricaded the door, right?
Yeah.
At least the bathroom door.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, the bathroom door.
So she's locked in there. She doesn't seem to be. She doesn't seem to have tried to get out at all, though.
Okay. I currently got her entranced, so she might be less of a threat.
I'll slide a flask to Henry. in case you get hungry.
Well, thank you. He'll take the flask and put it in his coat pocket. Is everybody on board with going out there?
Our options are slim, so yes.
Well, you're not wrong. I just wanted to at least be polite about it. Let's go.
I'm going to be a mercenary. People are going to die.
Let's not engage if we don't have to. Guess we'll go down the hallway.
All right, so you just open the door and leave the girl in the bathroom?
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking. So, you guys walk down the hallway, and the fluorescent lights, they're not holding a steady stream of power. They're kind of flickering a little bit. And when you come to the end of the hallway, there is someone standing there with really baggy blue jeans on, a black hoodie that has seen better days, and quite obviously, because he's kind of like moving around, fidgeting, seems a little impatient on something. You will catch a glimpse of his face underneath the hood, and he is quite obviously Nosferatu. And then, and you guys are all still in cloak. You're all cloaked, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As you come into at least line of sight of the main room, it is a massacre out here. You really can't tell if people are dead, but they're not moving. They're all just laying on the floor or slumped over tables. It looks like some of them may have been dancing and just fell. The unmoving form of that girl who was tied to the ropes in the ceilings is just dangling there in the center of the room still. The man who was performing on her also laying just slumped over onto the ground. And you can see 3 people sitting in the room. One of them is a woman with her face obscured by a shawl that she's wearing. One with long, darker hair in a black trench coat, blue jeans, with a very odd-looking sword. If Benny and Dr. Ford want to do a wits plus occult check on that sword, I can give you some answers. And the third individual, I guess the fourth individual, who's sitting is wearing black boots, khaki pants, a black turtleneck with long sleeves, and has a blonde head of hair and blonde beard. And he's sitting to the other side of the woman.
For the sword, would that fall under my historical?
Yes. Yes, it can. Please add your historical specialty to that.
And just to clarify, you said that the person holding a sword was a woman?
No, that one's a man. There's one woman sitting in the middle, flanked by these 2 men.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
And her face is obscured.
And her face is obscured, yes.
See my prior meme, please.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Ford's just going to auto-fail the check on the sword, because she just does not know. I'm not going to roll. She just does not know.
Okay. All right, Benny, it looks like you got, what, 1 success? 2? Yes, 2 successes. Yeah, you're not getting that. You're not getting that with 2 successes.
Is it safe to use disciplines from obscurement?
That would depend on the discipline. If you do anything that's over, like overly observant, then they're probably going to see. What did you have in mind?
Blood sorcery, extinguish vitae.
Who exactly are you doing that to?
Nosferatu?
You're gonna try to make the Nos hungrier?
Yep.
Okay. You got 2 successes. You got more. Damn. So he is. You can tell by the way his agitation has increased. He's looking around. Probably doesn't even think about it and just reaches for the first person that's on the ground, picks them up, and sinks his mismatched, gnarled fangs into them. The other ones just kind of look over at him with a look of annoyance on their faces. The woman who's sitting on the chair, or who's sitting on the couch, is going to go, Henry, you can show yourself, you and your friends. If you're playing with our little friend Sam here, you might as well make yourselves known. The one with the sword will stand up and get into a at the ready pose.
Mm.
The other 2 aren't moving.
Paul glances at Henry.
Rouse check. Forgot to roll my rouse check.
Okay, appreciative.
Henry looks like he is calculating.
Can I get another wits and awareness for everybody?
Henry had 7. Dr. Ford had 2. Paul had 4. Mr. Prophet had 7.
A messy
6.
crit.
Oh,
messy
God.
And Benny has 3.
All right. For this messy crit.
And I had a messy crit too.
Oh, God.
You did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did the sorcery.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, God.
It's very messy.
Oh, when you did
The extinguish vitae.
extinguish vitae? Okay. All right. Okay, so 3 and above is going to notice that the blonde one just kind of adjusts in his seat, kind of like he looks like he gets more comfortable. He like puts his hand up on the back of the couch and crosses his leg with one of his hands resting on his thigh, but you can tell 3 and above that he activates feral claws when he gets comfortable. As for the messy crits,
Mm.
oh, God.
Of course, one of them's Mr. Prophet, who we're relying on to stay obfuscated.
Yeah. Your beast is not happy about the fact that one of these guys appears to be Gangrel. That's very dangerous. We're going to go ahead and say that you... oh my God, why does it have to be a messy critical? Why couldn't you get a bestial failure? That'd been so much easier to deal with. How do you... This is actually like a game consensus. How do you succeed violently on an awareness check?
Noticing something causes you to stumble and hit something, like as you're taken back by it, or like you
overwhelmed by all the blood. Possibly
rubber you
frenzy check.
Yeah, like the panic of what you're noticing could force you to make a frenzy test.
Yeah, but that would be for a bestial failure.
It can happen on a messy crit as well.
Messy crits, you get what you're trying to do, but badly.
Maybe it's like a hyperfixation.
Or put it this way, he notices the claws, and kind of like Dega said, just fixated on if anyone's gonna die first, it's gonna be him. Or like he sees it as him like growing the claws. That's an immediate sign of a threat, and his beast goes time to neutralize.
Actually, you know what, Mr. Prophet?
Yeah.
Please come to behind closed doors with me.
Okay.
No.
Yay!
All right. Welcome to your special little place inside your head, Mr. Prophet. You notice something else when you notice the claws, and it's about the woman who's on the chair, and also the other man who's holding the sword. Not only are you picking up a premonition about this whole situation, you are being flung into a premonition. You know for a fact that that woman in the chair is the one who sealed the entrance to the tunnels in the cemetery.
Ooh.
You know for a fact because you can see her in your mind doing it. You also know that there is something incredibly hungry in this room. And you know it's that sword that he's holding. That sword wants your blood.
Shit.
And that is what you're getting for a premonition.
Okay, that works.
Not necessarily.
All right. Now, for Benny's thing, I'm going to go ahead and say that since you were using it and you got your bestial, or you got your messy crit while you were using that blood sorcery, the blood sorcery the messy crit goes to the victim, and he just starts tearing through the people who are in there.
Oh.
He feeds on the person that he's feeding on until they are obviously dead now, and then just goes to the next victim.
A little too good.
He is in a hunger frenzy, and it's obvious to tell.
Henry looks like he's weighing his options right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Henry is the kind of hunter, Alistair, who does not engage a fight he is not certain he can win. And that usually comes in the form of him being the one to make the jump on someone.
Mm-hmm.
But he also doesn't know if there's going to be another opportunity for him to get the jump on her.
Speaking of jumps, how about everybody throws me a composure and resolve check real quick? Because they're about to hear a very loud noise coming from behind them as the bathroom door gets shattered into a million pieces.
Just flirting with danger today, Jesus.
Did anybody not get one?
Mm-mm.
No, everybody's fine. Okay, so you're not going to pop out of the obfuscate from like the sudden noise behind you, but Lily comes walking back down the hallway behind you. And who wants to go ahead and roll a wits plus stealth roll against Lily?
So would it be like for the obfuscate?
Yes, she is attempting to see through obfuscate. So it's actually going to be your resolve plus. Let me see. It's going to be your wits plus obfuscate.
Yeah.
Mr. Prophet. Or do we all roll individually, or is it just Mr. Prophet's roll?
I think it's just Mr. Prophet.
Okay. twist around it.
Another messy critical.
What the hell?
That's our day.
It's a reflexive roll, so I don't know if it would necessarily count.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make you have a this. You're not actually gonna have a messy critical on this one.
Back to behind closed doors.
But you guys are able to.
It's so good we forget we exist.
You guys are able to get you're able to like basically hug the wall well enough for her to walk back out and look around, look down at the Nosferatu, who's probably on his third victim by now. And she just looks at them and goes, "Where are they?" At that point, the other male is going to stand up also. And they're going to be actively looking for you.
It's time to move. Like, Prophet will just be like, let's go. The signal, let's retreat.
Yeah. Henry is going to start moving. The woman's still sitting on the couch, right?
Yeah, she hasn't gotten up.
Okay. I'm gonna gesture for everyone to start kind of moving, but I'm gonna kind of just place myself behind her on the couch.
Okay. So you're trying to get around her to the back of her.
I'm going to be trying to move like with everybody else to get out, but I would like to take a path that puts me behind her on the couch as I do it.
Okay. While you're doing that, what else is everybody else doing?
Sneaking.
Just try to move towards the nearest exit.
Trying to do a little bit of a distraction by doing ventriloquism on the opposite side of the room.
Okay.
But I have silence of death on you as well.
Well, he can break that. That just means that whatever move or noise he would make while trying to walk around would not. Like if he stepped on paper or broken glass, that wouldn't make any noise.
Is Paul's Shadow Servant is still kicking, right?
Unless you've told him to go away.
Can he direct him to kind of appear on the far wall and just kind of stand out?
You're trying to make your shadow visible as you're doing that?
The one that's already detached.
Okay. Yes.
To kind of add to the distraction.
Yes, you very much could do that. I do need everybody to do a wits plus a cult roll.
Those are my best rolls.
And there's your difficulty.
Oh, lovely. Oh my gosh.
There's no way in hell I can make that.
Yikes.
Can we just all auto fail?
Unfortunately, you can't auto fail against any type of mental challenge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The challenge is 8.
Let's do this.
I'm not surprised.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Paul got close.
I rolled straight successes.
Paul could
I got 3.
Plus that crit.
What's my willpower looking like?
Okay,
Yeah,
so...
I'll willpower it.
Okay.
Dang.
I love how it's 911.
Yeah.
Help!
Emergency.
All right. So what is the successes that everybody got? Let's see.
1.
I got a rock. Anyway.
3 for Dr. Ford.
Okay. So no one beat this challenge.
No one beat 8. Mm-mm.
As you are all trying to go in your own directions, trying to find your exit and get out, or at least get away from where you are, The woman on the couch just kind of puts her hand up and gestures towards herself. And all of you are going to not take physical damage from this because you're kindred, not human. But what's going to end up happening is the arteries on your wrists, in your neck, everything is just going to burst open, and everybody is going to receive 1 hunger trait.
Oh.
As your blood rips from your body and comes to her. And she moves the shawl away from her face, and you see this dislocated jaw that just mars her beauty. She looks like she would be very pretty if she didn't have this horrible facial deformity. But you watch as all of your as just a single trait, a single hunger point of all of your blood comes ripping from your own flesh and into her mouth, and then your arteries re-heal themselves. But you are all knocked out of Obfuscate when this happens.
I would like to... Am I behind her on the couch yet?
You were on your way. This was in her response to while everybody was moving.
Okay.
So not quite.
Okay.
And she just sits there, silently, looking at all of you.
Take a knee.
That arena?
Why don't you all take a seat?
Dr. Ford does as she's asked.
I'll come down and I'll sit.
You'll notice that she also did it to the Nosferatu.
Oh.
And that just knocks him out of what reverie he was in. And he just starts apologizing. And then at one point it kind of looks like he tries to put some of the blood back into a victim. Realizing that was stupid, he just lets it fall. And Lily just kind of like shakes her head. Idiot.
Henry will go sit down and across from, like, wherever. I assume there's like adjacent or parallel seats.
Oh yeah, no. There's this. It's this big central area surrounded by like couches, chairs, love seats, that kind of stuff, with the stage in the center, with the one guy laying down on the ground and the girl who's just hanging from the ceiling by ropes.
Yeah, I'll go take a seat.
She's like a very interesting flesh chandelier at this point.
Paul looks very tense, but whenever everyone else sits, he will as well.
Your prophet will sit like as far away as he can, with still being okay. Like he'll check, he'll like sit down, and then there's a chair like a few feet back. He might attentively look and go sit in that one.
When Henry gets a good look at the man with the long dark hair holding the sword, you'll realize that he is someone that you kind of know.
Oh?
Someone that you've been kind of looking for a while.
Christoph?
It's the red lister that you've been looking for.
That would
You've personally never seen Christoph.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. So
is it the I'm confused out of character really quick.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
The red lister that I'm looking for?
Yes.
Would that be my personal adversary?
Yes.
Oh, that would be a woman.
Oh, would it?
Yeah.
Did I misread your sheet? That is 100% possible.
You might have read the human enemy.
And the obfuscate fades, and there's a woman.
No. No. Let's see. Is that on your sheet anywhere?
No, yeah, it is, but it's in my relationship map on the Discord.
Ah, okay. Let me get in that real quick. On your sheet, this is why it confused me. On your sheet, you just have her marked down as a Mala. Okay, as the Mala adversary. Okay, no, that's fine. I'm dumb. That's fine.
I mean, you're good.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, you've got those people around you, and let's see. Ekaterina just kind of looks at you and goes, Paul, or not Paul, sorry. God, I'm all flustered now because I have to rethink shit. Henry, why is there an army of Archons in my tunnels?
He kind of looks at her like half puzzled. Your tunnels?
Mm-hmm. My tunnels. Strangely enough, I went to use them last week and found them occupied.
Well, that is interesting news, I can assure you.
You can tell that her face is trying to smile.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you were all in there. And I don't care. I do care about the army of Archons that are down there, however.
When she says that she knew that we were all down there, Emil just looks at Dr. Ford. Or Henry looks at Dr. Ford.
Dr. Ford goes, "You know each other?"
This is Catherine Weiss.
I imagine her reputation precedes her, but it seems like you know each other.
Oh, we've never met. At least his reputation also precedes him. And she'll click her fingers twice and say, Natalie, and Natalie Bronx will now walk into the room.
Henry will just kind of look at her. Well, if it isn't the thorn in my side.
She is going to walk around the couch and sit next to Kristoff and take his hand. He'll sit back down with her.
And that's the guy with the sword or the guy with the claws?
The guy with the sword.
Okay.
She then kisses him on the cheek.
Well, seeing that position,
We have a bit of a situation here, I think.
it would certainly seem that way. Yes, we were in your tunnels. And yes, we are aware that they were your tunnels. We were looking for a way for Kindred in the city to find a way out.
That might be more important than you think.
Are you trapped here too?
Well, I am now. Thank you.
Oh.
You're welcome.
We can't take credit for the Archons. I don't know how it is you've come to know me by my name, by my first name. But, or why you think that I would know what the Archons have to do with your tunnels. But it was no secret to those of us within the Camarilla that, well, Prague's in a bit of a shitty situation. The higher echelons have been trying to get into the into the city for months now. Perhaps they finally found a way.
Prague is about to go the same way as London. Or even Vienna. And he'll look at Dr. Ford, or she'll look at Dr. Ford.
Dr. Ford just kind of nods back at her. She doesn't say anything, though.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea what these hunters are planning on doing?
I have a sneaking suspicion.
Enlighten us. Because if I say anything, I could just be lying.
And I'm immune to the ability to lie?
To your own coterie? I'd hope not.
That's a rather sore subject right now.
Well played. But what is to guarantee that once I tell you that me and my coterie are out of here alive?
What does it have to do with anything?
Well, you're clearly here wanting to know the information.
I have the information. I'm here to ask you to tell your coterie. Wilhelm and the blonde one will stand up and pull out a tablet from inside of his jacket pocket and lay it down on a side table next to where Emil is sitting. And it is a satellite photograph of what looks like a open flat area with a few long rectangular buildings and a very large it almost looks like an aircraft carrier, but it's not anywhere near the water.
Well, if you would have waited for... I appreciate your concern for the information that me and my coterie share. Had you waited or, not interrupted our evening...
I've been waiting out here patiently.
Looking around at the bodies. Is this your patients?
She just kind of smiles at you.
I have reason to believe that they're building a weapon. And speculation is that weapon will forcefully send out the red gas from the center of the city to every edge of the barrier that they've created. That's my suspicion. Confirmed they're building something. Suspicion that that's the means of what they'll do.
Considering the damage they did to the house to Hexy in Vienna, I'm not sure if just the red gas is all they're planning.
You think they're going to just scorch earth the entire city?
The entire city, no. But I do believe that they will force most of the K-Knights in the city into one small area and handle that one quickly. Much like they did in Vienna and London.
Well, then it would seem fortuitous that the Camarilla has secured a safe passage for us out of the city.
Do you believe that the Camarilla is going to let anyone but the Camarilla use those tunnels?
Well, I guess membership does have its perks, doesn't it?
Lily is going to almost throw a tantrum a little bit at you saying that, and she's just going to be, that is exactly why I left the Ivory Tower.
Well, it would seem as though one of us is regretting that decision.
They sold me to the fucking snakes. Lily has a bit of a sore spot when it comes to the members of the Camarilla, obviously.
Clearly. Although from your position, it would seem that decision to leave the Camarilla was a poor one.
Leave the Camarilla? Who left the Camarilla?
Didn't she just say that that's exactly why she left the Camarilla?
That's why she didn't go back to the Camarilla. The Camarilla sold her into servitude.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood that. My bad.
They sold her into servitude with the ministry.
I see. Well, that's certainly difficult, I'm sure. My condolences that you had to endure that.
How long do you think it's going to take for the Camarilla to get every member out of the city?
Every member?
Exactly. Do you think they're going to take... Do you think they're going to take all of their own? Or just the higher-ups?
It would certainly take too long to get everyone out, I'm sure. But those who make a difference, those with value, I'm sure will be the first ones out.
Those of value. What do you all think of that? Do you all have value?
So Dr. Ford at this point is looking almost visibly sick.
Don't try to play moral quandary with my coterie. It's a harsh truth that I'm not foolish enough to believe otherwise. Logistically speaking, it's impossible for them to get everyone out.
I mean, if they started to evacuate now, possibly not.
But that would be a rush, a surge of kindred, unable to check and measure and record who made it out safely, who didn't. Be awfully convenient for someone to just slip right under their nose.
So the logistics would be the problem.
Huh? I'm only speculating. It's not my call to make. I'm just looking at it from a pragmatic point of view.
Well,
If they were all to just start rushing out in droves, I'm sure it would provide an excellent cover for those of you who are not members to make their way out as well. And yes...
Why does that matter? The Camarilla is going to allow their own members to die under the sword of the Inquisition so that a few anarchs and Sabbat will die too.
So are you naming yourself as an anarch or a Sabbat?
There's no pretending who I am. Everyone knows my Sabbat connections.
Allegiances can change. You have a chance here. Save your friends and come with us. You know the tunnels well.
And face the Archons.
Facing the Archons is not really something that I'm really worried about. I believe that my pack here could probably handle the majority of them, if not all of them, without an issue.
Then why come here?
The loss of Cainite life. It's disgusting. The Camarilla is just going to allow it to happen, because I'm pretty damn sure they have the exact same information I do about what the Inquisition is attempting. They know already what's going on.
So you're here for lack of a better word, humanitarian reasons.
An enemy of your enemy is your friend. And right now, we both have an enemy in the SI.
That might be the most intelligent thing said so far.
It makes no sense for us to bicker and argue. There are no atheists in a foxhole, right? This is our foxhole. We're not Camarilla. We're not Sabbat. We're not anarchs. We're just trying to survive. Are you willing to survive, Miss Weiss?
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
And that sounds like we could reach some degree of amicability.
I didn't kill you when I could have.
All right, then.
While this conversation is going on, Prophet's going to try his lore sheet to figure out what Katarina's vulnerability is.
Okay. How exactly is that going to work?
I'm trying to use insight. It's the pool is wits plus insight. Let me pull the book.
Mm-hmm.
Prophet is really trying to listen to what she's avoiding saying. Trying to figure out kind of her motive, and then what the flaw is, if any.
Okay. Do I have a defense pool to that, or do you just need to roll?
I don't know. It doesn't say under insight, and it doesn't say under the lore sheet.
Okay. I would say go ahead and roll wits plus insight. I'll see what you have, and I will let you know if there's anything that she's gonna put off. Oh well, look at that shit. She is quite obviously not saying something. You can definitely tell that she is holding something back.
Forgive me for making so many assumptions out the gate then as to your purpose here. If you already know what they're building, you're not worried about the Archons. What do you want?
And with respect, ma'am, I enjoyed your tunnels, but you're holding something back. Can we get to that?
She is going to look over to the man and the man with the long hair and the woman who you know as Natalie, and she's just going to look at him and say, "Christoph, let them know what you found." And Christoph is going to hand the sword to the woman, and walk a little bit closer to you with a large plaque that he had sitting on a table next to him. It's rough. It kind of looks like a plaster cast. And he puts down what looks like an incredibly large imprint of it looks humanoid footprint. We've been hunting down things all over Europe. And we believe that one of them may be somewhere under Prague. This one has been hunted, and we believe that it is the mother of foulness. Echidna.
Did you say Echidna?
Echidna.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a name that would absolutely stand out.
If you want to do a intelligence plus insight roll.
Does my lore sheet add anything to this?
Anyone or just Henry?
Which lore sheet are you trying to use for this? The one that gives you all your special stuff?
I might be misremembering, but isn't Echidna an anathema?
It is. So yeah, you would be able to. Yeah. Now, due to his lore sheet, unfortunately, Henry's going to be the only one who actually has this.
I was about to say, this is a Greek god, but
I mean, you guys can know the Greek stuff, but for World of Darkness,
the little rodent
It
thing.
is. Little very furry rodent thing.
They're a monotreme, damn it, they lay eggs.
We'll find that.
So, intelligence, politics?
Intelligence, insight. From memory.
And any bonus or just a lower diff?
Say a lower diff.
2.
2. You've heard the name. You know it has something to do with the Alistairs. Like, specifically the Alistairs. The Archons don't even go after this thing.
You think that Echidna resides in the city?
I believe that Echidna is torpid under the city. And I believe that just like many of the elders, if they sense enough blood of our kind, they can wake up.
So this echidna will be protected from the gas?
If it's under the gas, it could very well have enough power to survive the gas. There's too many variables. Ekaterina is going to look at you all and go, this is what we do. We hunt down threats. And this threat could very well be one of the fabled Niktuku. The child of the Nosferatu Antediluvian itself.
Henry kind of rolls his eyes.
Benny is fully enraptured.
I see the Camarilla has done their work on you.
Paul is enraptured as well.
After everything that's been happening lately, you still don't believe. And she just stares down Henry.
In the Antediluvians.
What do you think happened in 1999 in Calcutta? What do you think the Week of Nightmares was all about?
I think it's not a question to me as to whether or not there are kindred ancient and powerful enough to affect all of those that descend from them. But the Sabbat's zealous dogma about the Antediluvians and Cain and Gehenna, what do you think happens when you start poking things that should rather just be left to lie? They're going to wake up, they're going to be hungry, and they're going to kill everything until they're satiated.
They're going to wake up if there's a mass amount of kindred destroyed in one place where they're sleeping.
I'm not saying that I disagree with that concern. It's just Antediluvians, the Sabbat's zealous charge to take out the Antediluvians and all of the ancient. Why do you think they're waking up? Because the Sabbat won't leave them alone.
They began waking up long before the Sabbat were doing anything. They're just now starting to come to any semblance of power.
And still the Sabbat can do nothing about them. That's the problem.
Sabbat lost their leadership because they realized that there was nothing they could do.
The Sabbat are fighting on the front lines in the Middle East of the Gehenna War. Whelp.
Did she say whelp?
Yeah, she called you a whelp.
If Echidna really is torpid beneath the city, I'm not saying that I disagree that that's an issue. I believe many of my associates, professional associates, would have an interest in removing that threat entirely.
Can you do that in enough time before the hunters come in with their new little toy?
Can you?
It would be a lot easier if it doesn't wake up. And I believe that the death of all the kindred of Prague are going to cause it to wake up.
So can you deal with it before it wakes up? Before the hunters release their little toy?
If we could find it. But who knows where it is?
speaking from experience with dealing with ancient things awakening, your ragtag bunch, I don't think is going to be enough to take whatever is awakening. So, if it is in our best interest to not let it wake up, wouldn't it also be in our best interest to work together to prevent that?
Well, what we would like to do is have the city emptied of kindred. All of the Camarilla, all of the Anarchs, and all of the Sabbat Cainites.
You mean a little Sabbat cult that you've been cultivating in the middle of this war?
That I've been cultivating. Loyal agents who are all trying to figure out exactly where this monster is.
He kind of rolls his eyes again when she says loyal agents. So why come to us about it?
Well, you have your connections. Evacuate the city. That is what you need to be doing, not re-establishing some upstart neonate prince who doesn't know what she's doing. Remove the kindred from Prague until the hunters are satisfied with it being opened, and then come back, and then we'll get back to our typical hating each other and throwing rocks mentality that we typically have.
As the eldest of the city, you have an obligation to help us. You have an obligation to help your kindred, your Cainite brother.
What do you think I'm trying to do?
Then help us truly, not threaten.
Who threatened?
He
looks around.
Henry just points to the serial Diablerist, counts 1, points to the sword, counts 2, points to the claws, counts 3.
So much death is in this room because you wanted to threaten us.
I think Sam only killed like 3 of them. And she just kind of like nonchalantly gestures over to the pile of bodies that Sam left. That the Nosferatu left. The rest of them are alive. They're just asleep. I'll let them wake up when our little meeting is over. I'm not going to deny that there aren't incredibly violent monstrosities within the Sabbat. That's their choice. Some of us have other things to do, that the only reason that we're part of the Sabbat is because the Ivory Tower will not let us actually work within our own goals. Because they feel like they need to lie to their own members.
Lie about what?
I'll look at Henry.
Lie about what? Kindred existence in general. They've been lying since their formation.
You mean the masquerade?
Oh no, the masquerade is very much needed. It's not that bad of an idea. If the Sabbat didn't agree with the masquerade, we'd be breaking it left and right.
There was a time.
There was a time. ... Are you going to finish your thought, or do we have to fill it in?
Where you guys broke the masquerade non-stop. I remember the 90s. I remember the war.
We did.
The Sabbat is not filled with saints.
We did strategically break the masquerade so that the Camarilla would use up their individual power to try to fix it. But we could easily destroy the masquerade on a worldwide scale if we wanted to. Any kindred with a cell phone could.
So then, What do you mean by them lying since their formation?
The Camarilla was formed on the death of an antediluvian, and they've spent the past 500 years denying they exist. That lie.
She's not wrong.
Henry kind of looks to Benny, actually, a little like, what?
She's not wrong. That's one of the founding things of the Camarilla, is you don't talk about it to the leader. It's like Fight Club. Swear to God. But the realistic nature of the situation is there are old things that could awaken, that could cause us trouble. So it is in our best interest to end them. Am I right, Miss Wise?
You're 100% correct, Benjamin.
And Henry, it is our job as good Camarilla members to prevent those things from happening, which would endanger the masquerade. This thing waking up destroys it.
Benjamin, I agree. I stated from the beginning I don't disagree that echidna is an issue that should be dealt with. But understand from my perspective, my position, the only evidence that I have to support this to the inner council is the word of Katarina the Wise.
The inner council can be filled with fools. They're not down here with us. It's in our best interest, I'm just saying. Work with her. Find common ground, whether it be getting all the kindred, Cainite, Anarch, whatever out of the city, so that way this thing can be dealt with. No one else has to die.
So, Miss Weiss, the full evacuation of kindred from the city. Sabbat, Anarch, Camarilla. We just flee the city, let the hunters have their run of whatever, thin blood and caitiff.
Until they have their proof that they're all gone.
And then I understand that the Sabbat are nomadic in many of their practices. And most, I won't speak to all, but most members have very little concern about the mortals that surround them. So you just expect all of the kindred in the city to just uproot and leave everything that they have and know?
It is a long-standing Cainite tradition to go to ground, sleep it off if they need to, and then get up and start again. So yes, to stop Echidna from waking up, I do expect all of them to drop everything that they have and leave for a short amount of time, and then reestablish themselves when they get back. This could only take a few months to just have the Second Inquisition believe that there are no kindred in Prague, that they've done their job.
Again, I'm not saying that I disagree with you, Miss Weiss. I'm just simply asking if you truly expect all kindred to take the concern and worry that we might have about the issue.
Well, most kindred do have a good amount of time of brainwashing that they're going to have to deal with. So no, I don't expect them all to believe it. However, if the Camarilla could explain to them what the actual danger here, that the Second Inquisition could be building a massive siege weapon, then I think that it's common sense for them to just get up and leave.
Prophet raises his hand.
Yes.
Miss Katerina, the reason we were in the tunnels is there was a rumor the tunnel system could get us out of Prague. Is that true?
That tunnel system could very well get you outside of the borders of the red gas.
In 2 different locations, to be precise.
Okay, so why aren't we, like, I guess I'm asking Henry, why aren't we helping? If people want to get out, you don't have to tell them about the whole, like, bargain here. We can say we found a way out. Let's evacuate the city.
I've already been putting steps in motion to have that information shared with the members of the Camarilla.
I mean, just send someone get out and have them take a selfie in another city, and so it's proof.
Ms. Weiss, what timetable are we looking at as far as your information goes on the hunters being finished with their toy?
You know, I don't actually have anybody who's hanging out with them. So I have
a serious question, but
I have no idea. They could be done now.
so we take this information to the Camarilla, fill them in on why they need to leave. Then what?
Well, then I guess you'll be able to see whether or not the Camarilla actually cares about their members. No witty retort to that?
I'm just trying to figure out what your real angle is. As you put it so delicately, I'm a whelp in comparison to you yourself.
Did I hurt your feelings, Henry?
No. I'm just not foolish enough to think that as an Alistair, I'm playing 4D chess, and as a multiple centuries old Cainite, you're playing 5D chess.
She's going to stand up. The others are going to stand up with her, and she's going to take a couple steps towards you.
My hand will slowly move to my gun.
And she's going to look down at you and say, maybe that's the problem. You're working things that are way too complicated for you when you could just be looking at the simplistic picture that thing waking up is no good for any of us. And she will just turn around and start to walk out towards the door.
Miss Weiss.
She'll stop. She doesn't turn around, she just stops.
I'll stand. We may have differences in philosophical and political views, but I know the name of the creature you're talking about. I admit it needs to be dealt with. And Benjamin's right. You're capable, we're capable. How do we get in touch with you? Should we come to the university?
She'll turn a little bit, just turn slightly and looks back at you over her shoulder. Goes, well, that would actually depend on whether or not you're going to continue trying to defile my sanctuary. And then she will just turn and keep walking. That was an obvious hit directly at you, Henry.
Defile her sanctuary?
Yeah, if you're going to keep trying to hire people to vandalize.
Okay. Noted.
And all of them leave, leaving you surrounded. But like the moment they walk out the door, all of the people just start groaning a little bit and looking like they're starting to wake up from a very heavy sleep.
Time to leave.
There are 3 dead bodies in here.
Time to leave.
All right. We will go ahead and end that scene. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before we actually end the session? I tried to let it go for about an hour. Longer than I normally would to make up for the time that I ended up losing connection.
We'll have to deal with the bodies. I don't know how the fuck we're going to deal with the bodies. I do not want exsanguinated bodies being left in my favorite place in the city.
That would be a problem.
Yeah.
Visceral absorption.
Do any of you have that?
No, God,
no. I do have split second. So I could, very quickly before anybody wakes up, move the bodies out of anyone's being able to see them.
Okay. So where are you thinking about taking them?
Well, how do they leave?
They walk right out the front door. Like they go up through the art gallery and they just walk right out.
Would it be possible? Were there people like on the terrace of the art gallery?
Like upstairs on the second floor?
Like on the part that's like open to the outside? Like the rooftop?
I mean, I don't think you would know that if you walked directly into it and then walked to the basement.
Okay, well, I didn't know if there were like lights or music or anything coming from up when we were like pulling up to the building. That's why I was asking.
Oh well, no, I did say that the art gallery itself was active.
Okay. Well, I guess try to find another way out of here. Move the bodies like into the stairwell of the secret place and see if somebody can't find another way out of here. Or like move the bodies into a private room or just do something with them to get them out of direct line of sight from all the people waking up.
Well, your private room has a destroyed door to the bathroom door.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other private rooms, but they all take keys to get into. Yeah, you're gonna have to figure that out. Or not, and just leave it for somebody else to deal with.
They have a janitor. It'll be fine.
Yep. I mean, I don't care about the bathroom door. It's the bodies that I'm worried about.
Put them in the room we were in, and then you tell the chick who gave you this room that they need to keep this door locked, and then after hours, get rid of them.
Yeah, but I don't... See, there's a reason that they don't provide us actual vessels unless you're... Okay, I'll split second the bodies into the private room.
Okay.
Lock the door, make sure I've got the key on me. And I will find Nova. Mr. Prophet and Benny, would you try finding alternate ways out of here while I wake Nova up and get that dealt with?
I'm gonna chug a flask.
Hey, meal. Can you get some couple to go?
Supper to go?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure some of the girls would. That I don't know about. I'm not particularly fond of the plastic taste.
Yeah, well, I'm saying for me.
Yes, I'm aware. I wouldn't know. I don't ever order anything in plastic. I can find out.
Okay, so the bodies are moved into the private room. And people are starting to wake up, and they're talking to each other, like, wondering what happened, like, why did the music go off, why are they on the floor? The girl who's tied up to the ceiling is complaining about how she hurts in some places and she's getting a headache. The guy is like, oh god, and he's trying to untie her really quick.
See if I can't find Nova and help her up off the ground.
You can find Nova. She's in her office. She's awake.
She's awake.
Yeah, if you knock on her office door, it's actually cracked slightly open, and she's just sitting on her computer playing solitaire.
Nova?
Oh, are you guys done?
Done meaning...
Not your meeting. It's not that often when the boss lady shows up.
The boss, that was the boss of this place.
Uh-huh. She hasn't even looked up from her screen, except for when you first walked in. She's still just sitting there playing solitaire.
Well, some of your boss's associates left a mess for us to clean up.
She'll breathe out, exasperated, or she'll pause the solitaire game. She'll stand up. And she'll head on out there. Where is it?
I had to move quickly and hide them from everyone else.
Oh, good. She'll come up and she'll kiss you on the cheek, and she'll just, like, before you can even finish your sentence, she'll just start walking down the hallway towards your room.
Henry just hangs his head a little bit.
Why can we not have anything nice that isn't tainted by that shit? And he'll go and he'll go and open the door for her to... Are we good here?
Yeah, if you're done with your meeting.
Yes, I believe we're done.
Like, at one point, she's like, damn, one of those was a regular.
My sincerest apologies.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to leave so abruptly, but business and whatnot.
She's in work mode. She's just doing her shit.
No, but before I go, really quickly.
Yeah.
Did you tell your boss I was here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you were here.
Is she acting like she was just, like, mesmerized, dominated, or some shit? Or is this...
No, she's just like, duh, common sense.
Yes, but why did you tell her?
Because she's my boss. She'll stop what she's doing. She just, like, drops, like, she's got, like, a body by the wrists, and she just drops them, and she walks over to you, stepping over one of the other ones like it's just a roll in the carpet, and she puts her hands on your arm, and she gives you a kiss on the cheek, and she goes, "You're cute, but that's where the money comes from," and then turns around and goes back to work.
I was simply trying... Thank you. I was simply trying to confirm if you were given order, if your boss was looking for me and that's why you told. I'm just trying to fill in a missing puzzle piece here is all I'm doing.
She laughs a little bit and she's like, I tell the boss when any kindred come in here.
Understood. Thank you very much for that information.
You're welcome.
Nova, have a wonderful evening. I look forward to seeing you next time, perhaps under better circumstances.
All right, have a good night.
You as well, dear. And he'll make his way back to the rest of them. It's dealt with. Let's get out of here.
Did you get a doggy bag?
No, I'm sorry.
Prophet, are you hungry?
Yes.
Henry, give him the flask.
Henry will hand you the flask.
I can drink this?
Up to 3 blood points.
All right, Prophet's going to down it.
And I'll take the flask back. Shake it. It's empty.
Yep.
Really? All of it?
Well,
Put it in my hoodie.
And Benjamin,
Yes.
it's a mill.
What?
Mill.
name
We
is
got to
Mill.
call him a mill.
You said it's a no.
A mill. My name is a mill.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
It's not really that surprising because the music's probably starting back up, and it's like business as usual in this club. Like as you guys are leaving.
Any hitches we need to deal with?
No, I believe it's all dealt with on the house.
All right.
Come on, Dr. Ford. Come on, Paul.
So, yeah, the 4 of you are just gonna leave. Probably head back to the Elysium because it's getting late, and the next game session will be taking place the next night. And I'm gonna call post here.
Right.